It's going fast, and this has been a great group to interact with every day. I think they get along extremely well, and obviously there's a huge learning curve for a lot of our new guys, and we have a lot of new guys. So I think the progression has been good.
How important does that make this time of year before you guys really get into this kind of establish the foundation for all the new guys?
Yeah, I mean it's a vital importance. I just think it obviously speeds up the process when practice starts in September. Especially with the terminology and the positioning that oftentimes is different from where they played before. So even whether you're a freshman or whether you're a senior that's transferring in with 1 year left, everything's different. What we do defensively or our spacing or our terminology is different than probably where they came from. So just trying to pick up on all that takes a little bit of time, but we're moving in the right direction. Not a lot. Unfortunately, Owen had some meniscus surgery, so he's going to be out probably until later September, sometime into October. Liam's still working himself back into shape, and so we're thin up front right now. So Jason Green's had to play there a lot, and he's done a great job. So it's I don't think defensively it impacts what we're doing a little bit. I'd love for those guys to be out there getting reps offensively, but it is what it is. Sometimes you can't control injuries. Yeah, he's done a great job, and I think most importantly, his voice has been really consistent in practice. So those leadership components that are so important. And we lost some of that with Steven and Kalk and Jemiah, and Jason and Isaac and Ty and Jackson have really embraced that and have done a good job with it. Well, he spent a year with Stephen Ashworth, so he probably got tired of listening to him, so decided to do it on his own. But he's really embraced our culture, and I think he's done a great job of. Because he got to know all these guys during the recruiting process. A lot of times, he and Jackson were the two guys that hosted these guys when they came to campus. So, he sets the tone with his voice on a daily basis. He's really worked on his jump shot. It's much more consistent. And obviously the second time through, everything's a lot easier. And he's had a great spring and summer so far.
Like the last time we talked, you guys weren't sure if you were going to have Fedor back, and this set's been clear. I think this is our first time talking to you since then.
Yeah, I've missed you, John. I have. I really have missed you. It's exciting to have him back. As I told you, I think last time we talked, I thought the chances were unlikely. But sometimes when you threaten lawsuits, all of a sudden things change a little bit. So, we're excited to have him back, and the fact that he's got 2 years is great for him. I think everybody saw what he's capable of late in the season last year, and the impact that he can have when he's healthy. So, it's awesome to have him back.
How's it feel to have the roster set? Liam did it, right?
We could still take one more because Josh is grandfathered in as a walk-on. So theoretically, we could if the right person came along. But we're pretty much where we need to be. Yeah, that was difficult, and I think, and I've said it before. I think one of the things we learned from the Auburn loss is I think their depth really wore into us the second half, and we wanted to make sure we were a deeper team this year, and I think we've accomplished that, especially across the wing. I mean, we don't look very deep at the center position right now because everybody that seems to be out's at the same position. But I really like the pieces. I like our length. I think there's a lot of interchangeable parts, both defensively and offensively. So I think it's going to be a fun group to work with. Yeah, Blake, he's got some Baylor Shireman type characteristics offensively with his ability to see the floor and make plays for himself and for other people, and doesn't get sped up. And generally with a young player, that's the case. But he really plays within himself offensively, and I think he's someone that can really create opportunities for our team with his ability to see the floor and make plays. And defensively, it's going to be a challenge. You're coming from the MEAC to the Big East. It's a little different world, and he's going to adjust to that as time comes. Hudson's been great. His body's really filled out from when we first started recruiting him until now. He's gotten much stronger, and he can really rebound the basketball. He's shot it at a high level. He's picking things up defensively. We've kind of got there's a lot of guys at that wing position, but Hudson's going to be a really, really good player in this program. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good to see those guys, and obviously, things I think really worked out well for Kalk. I think he's in a great spot with a lot of opportunity. I think Baylor's in a position where his opportunity is going to be probably better than it was a year ago, and I think he'll take advantage of that. And then Stephen and Jemiah are working their way through things. Trey signed a 2-way deal with New Orleans, so hopefully that works out well for him as well. I haven't. I might show up tomorrow and tell you I'm done. Who knows? But it's just kind of when I don't feel I can do a good enough job for the people that I'm responsible to do a good enough job for, then it's time to step away, and that time's not yet.
You mentioned the unfamiliarity, even if you're a one-year guy, a senior transferring into the program. Is that exciting for you as a coach too?
Yeah, it's fun, and last year to watch Jemiah's growth on the floor, off the floor, the way he connected with his teammates. That's why you get into coaching, is just see guys grow and learn and develop and figure it out. And if you bring in the right people, then you have a chance of that happening. And I think, obviously, we had the right group of people last year, and I think we've accomplished that again this year.
One more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why we did this in the first place, is so that there's some continuity and you kind of hold on to the culture a little bit when that time comes. And obviously he's Creighton through and through, and he's, like I've done in the past, the assistant coaches kind of run the summer stuff, and I'm a cheerleader, and he's done a great job with that.